and welcome to day 2764 of What Shipped to Now. Today we're talking about pain, emotional health and well-being, the link between pain and emotional health and well-being, supersizing our business, of course, and being a better version of ourselves as part of the Be a Better You annual challenge. How do we be every single day do one thing to be a better human being, a better person, a better version of ourselves? And I'm going to really keep it short with respect to pain today. I actually record this video on my Painkillers, K-I-L-L-E-R-Z-S page, because it's something I created a long time ago to deal with my chronic pain and people that have chronic pain. And it's got a positive slant and focus. And part of why I have to record there is because Facebook makes changes all the time in how they do things. And I can only do one video per page daily and have it function at all. It was like 2 years ago I started doing that. And actually I think just this year, I'm recording it on Painkillers, the What She Up To Now. I used to do them both on my personal page. So we're talking about pain, the link between pain, the three different types of pain: acute, chronic, and emotional pain. They all have an impact on us and our ability to function. They cause us to be less patient. Are you ever less patient when you have a migraine or a headache, or are having a bad day, or you hurt your foot, or you sprained your knee, or your knee hurts, or your arthritis is acting up? Absolutely, positively. I find that if I'm experiencing severe pain, I'm way less patient with myself and with other people than if I'm not feeling as much pain. It reduces our resilience, our ability to handle the day-to-day stressors that happen in all of our lives. Pain impacts our self-identity. If you've got chronic pain, which I do and have had since my 20s, who I was before then and who I am now, totally different people. Some of the things that I used to be able to do that I loved doing, like playing tennis, I'm not able to do it, not only physically, but visually, because I'm legally blind. So sometimes we have to change our identity of who we are and how we show up in the world, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? It limits our social interaction. We tend to, when we're feeling pain, cut ourselves off from other people. We say no to activities that we used to love because we're not sure if we're going to be able to handle them, and we don't want to be a burden to other people. It causes us to withdraw from relationships, activities, which increases loneliness and isolation, which increases pain because it adds emotional pain on top of the physical pain. Triggers unhelpful coping behaviors and habits. Sometimes people use coping mechanisms to deal with the pain or to mask the pain, like alcohol, drugs, overeating. Guilty of that one. Sweets, caramels. Caramels are my pain relieving activity. Or social isolation, because we want to separate ourselves and not burden other people, especially those we love and care about. How do you break that cycle? And we talked about that. Mindfulness, meditation, journaling, therapeutic movement, support networks. I caution people with those because especially the online ones I found early on, I reached out to them and participated a little in them and found them so soul-sucking and negative and depressing that I had to get off them. And that's why I started Painkillers. So I had an outlet for positive, focus on what's possible things. Creative outlets like writing, painting, drawing, anything creative. Whenever we're creating, that's the opposite of destruction and decreasing. Anything positive we're putting out into the world is having a positive impact on us. That's why I encourage people to have a vision board. I don't care what your situation is, you need to have a vision board so you're focusing on what you want and what's possible, because anything is possible. I mean, my doctors, when I was in my 20s, said, yeah, this isn't looking good. We can't do anything for you. And it turns out that was the turning point I needed to say, okay, here's all these different doctors and specialists that are treating me for kidney things, for arthritis, for migraines. They were all treating me in different ways. And it turns out when I said, yeah, I'm not okay with this, I'm losing my 20s, everything changed for me because I took back control of my life, my body, my health, and responsibility for that, and started doing things on this list of breaking the pain emotion cycle, not even knowing that you could do that by doing different things. And it was a little bit at a time and a little bit more and a little bit at a time that caused me to realize, and I stopped taking my medications, which I'm sure my doctors would have freaked out about if I had told them, but I didn't tell them. I just stopped taking all of them. And all of a sudden, the fog, all of the side effects that were interacting with these medications that back then they weren't doing a a team approach. I'm that old that they weren't doing a team approach. The medications were interacting to actually make symptoms that I shouldn't have had and everything worse. And once I got cleaned out of all of those in my system, I could actually experience times in between the pain. And then I expanded on those times from seconds to minutes to segments of an hour to hours that I was not in excruciating pain. And I could actually start functioning and doing things like getting outside in the sunshine, taking a little walk around the driveway, things like that. And it took a little time, took a year or so, but finally I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to always have chronic pain, but I can function. I can figure out how to be me and create the life that I want in spite of the pain. All right, so that's what we're talking about in Supersize Your Business and in the Be a Better You Annual Challenge. Saturday in my neck of the woods, so it's a busy, busy day. If I can help you in any way, just ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I will, of course,